What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. My name is Braden Carlson.
My name is Taylor.
My name is Shane, or as you might know me, Postart.
And my name is Math.
And today, school is in session, folks. It's episode 101. So what makes sense more than Rocketry 101? We're going to talk about getting into high-power rocketry, because we still get asked this quite a bit. Where do you start? So we figured we'd make a podcast episode we could point people to, and they'll have a place to get the ground running. So I think the best thing we can do is we can go around, and maybe we'll get to a point where we're talking about rockets to start with. We can all suggest something, and we can just hash it out. Conversation Street this week on the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, folks. But first, anybody do anything fun rocketry related?
I edited a video.
What the S? No way.
It's ready to go. I just need to proof watch it to make sure I didn't leave something stupid in there that I'm not aware of.
Yeah,
and she's
always
going
a
up.
good idea. I rarely do that, but it's always a good idea.
I did it really quick, and so I was like, "Oh, there's a good chance I left something stupid in there." So,
Dude,
of course,
run it back.
While the iron's hot, you should get some rally videos going too. You know what I'm saying?
Not a big of an audience for those. So.
Well,
Dang. You're
Crickets.
big timing the rally career?
not yet.
He's like,
Who,
well,
me?
Taylor.
Oh,
He's like, I got 1,000
No.
subscribers on YouTube that I got to treat to a video once every 18 months. So
Exactly. Yeah, no one wants to see a video of me in a race car with the GoPro effect that makes it look like I'm going 20 miles an hour.
oh yeah, that's so fun. Intensely
Dude.
though.
GoPros it's really hard to make anything look fast on a GoPro.
Yeah,
But-
I know.
except
That's what I tell
rockets, actually.
Hmm.
Like, if you find a car video where someone actually is like going scary fast, you're like, well, that's just like frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well.
Anyway, sorry,
car
this is a
stuff.
rocket podcast.
that's my bad.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Match.
You're
Yeah,
very
getting us
well
off
sorry.
track.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking
Roller
of tracks, have you
coasters.
guys done any car stuff? No. All right.
I was in roller coasters.
So,
Shane, did you-
anyway. What? Go ahead, Math.
I was thinking about doing some rocket stuff. I've been pretty upset. Like yesterday and today, I was gonna actually start working on my demon, but work got a little bit slow, or I got a little slow at work. Anyway, but that is in my immediate future. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that. Start it. Thank you. And I also ordered something from a website about rockets.
You did from hprtools.com. I didn't realize that rocket had 1/8-inch fins. That's why he showed me the order. I was like, you want to have him double check that? That seems
Thank you.
crazy, but
Did you measure them?
you know.
No, I should though. I looked at the website and saw 1/8 inch.
Yeah, but you have the parts.
I know.
Wouldn't it make more sense to measure the parts?
They were upstairs. I was downstairs.
Oh, wow. Well, that seems pretty airtight then. Okay.
Also, how's the fin guide going to work on the boat tail?
Oh, why wouldn't it work on the boat tail?
I mean, the nose cone's still 4 inches or 5 inches in diameter at the top, so if you can slide it down over the top of the nose cone.
Why
before
couldn't I go up the
transition
boat
starts.
tail?
Well, it's going to not fit if you put it on the back of the boat tail. But the fins go onto the airframe as well on the Demon, so it'll be fine.
Say what?
No, do they?
No, I guess you're right. They don't.
Yeah. I don't
I'll
think they
figure it
do.
out. I'll figure it out. I knew that was probably going to be a question mark, but I'll figure it out. I'll just 3D print a different one. Just kidding.
I don't know, man. I only own 2 Demons. Why would I know what they look
Yeah,
like?
you don't know.
Um,
No, you can't. You can't spoil the surprise for me, Braden. I have to figure this out on my own.
Have
Do
you
you
talked
want
to
my pink one, Matt?
No, Taylor. Next question.
All right, fine.
did you email Corey?
Yes, I emailed both of them.
Okay.
Thank you, Corey.
Carry
and
on.
David. And David. Oh yeah. Thank you
Okay.
both for your, okay.
Let's get
Enough
this
of
back
me.
on the rails a little bit. Somebody walks up to you and says, "What's up?" I don't know. I was going to say something offensive, but we're too early in the podcast to be slinging that
G.
around.
What's up, G?
I want to fly high power rockets. I've done Estes stuff. I flew an F-15. Okay. I'm done with mid power. I've taken it as far as it can go. I want to fly high power. Where do you start? So we talk about rockets and kits and everything, but go ahead, Taylor.
Well, I will say I've talked to a lot of people these days that seem to be that kind of jump straight into the high power. So there's that aspect that we can talk about too.
Mm.
Yeah, which I don't have an issue with. I mean,
I don't really either, but it's been interesting. So I guess I forgot to mention over the weekend that Sam started her T-Lock.
Oh.
Which is it was very funny because I'm such a bad teacher. And I can't really handle myself. She's so lost. I found the instructions on the lock website, and they're great for someone that knows anything about a rocket, but it really needs like a diagram for someone that. I mean, I'm guessing they're assuming someone's done something rocketry related before this, but
right.
So anyway, I have that point of reference to throw into this fire.
Okay. Well, that should be useful, but I think we should take it all the way from the very basics. Every time someone asks, I get asked this like 45 times a day from comments on YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels, so I don't really answer every single one of them. But in general, my answer is go to nar.org or tripoli.org and find the club closest to you. We have a lot of people asking NAR versus Tripoli, which one is better and why. I think we're all exclusively Tripoli members here, right, Matt? Are you in NAR?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm Tripoli.
Well, but are you also in NAR?
No.
Okay, I don't think any of us
Nigel.
are, right?
Not anymore.
No.
We're not anymore.
When I was a kid, I was.
Well, the only reason I wasn't in NAR was that Tripoli, Idaho was Tripoli and it wasn't NAR. So I was like, whatever, cool. Plus, Tripoli has research, which is really fun, but it doesn't really matter at the entering phase. What you should do to choose which one you want to join, though, is see which one has a club closest to you. The video, people are getting a nice treat of Nigel walking around in the back.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But you need to go check it out. It's like, it's like $60 or $70 a year to sign up, and then I think it goes down $10 a year on both accounts. NAR's cool because you get a magazine, I think quarterly. I don't know, I'm not a member, but they still have a printed magazine, which is pretty cool. Tripoli has one as well, but it's like a PDF that gets emailed to you and you can download it. Either way, whichever club is closest to you, and then go do a launch. Go talk to some people. The best way really you can get started in high power rocketry with 0 point of reference is to talk to people who are already doing it or have done it for a long time. And usually you'll find if you go to a rocket launch and you say, hey, I really want to get into this, what should I do? Someone's going to be there to help you get that whole ball rolling. But it's fairly expensive. Like, there's not a cheap entry into high power rocketry when you compare it to stuff like flying an Estes rocket. It's, like I said, $60 or $70 a year if you're an adult. It's cheaper if you're a college student or under 18. You can't certify to fly high power on your own if you're under 18. That's a whole nother field of discussion we don't need to go down right now. But yeah, so someone will almost without a doubt be willing to give you some suggestions and help you out. But hands-on first-hand experience is a good way to get started. Anybody disagree or want to add anything?
Oh, yeah, I disagree with that.
Okay, great. Taylor seems to be distracted, so I guess we'll worry about that later.
Yeah. I just saw someone come up to the door, and so I'm like, seemed concerning, so I just sent a text to the other person that lives in this house.
Gotcha. One of the 5 other armed individuals that lives in the house, of course.
Yeah, I was sending Nigel a text.
Is that why he
But
was
yeah.
rowing before?
Whichever national organization has a club closest to you, go to a launch. Go have a good time. But once you have joined your national organization, you're insured, you're ready to get going. What are you telling them to buy, folks? So I think we should each take a moment here and say, like, recommendation, just a good first high power rocket. And I'm going to ask Math to tell us first.
All right. Well, I think the easiest thing would probably be to buy a kit of some kind. Maybe if you wanted to get like one of the 1.6 inch diameter junior kits from Wildman. Well, okay, that's fiberglass. That's a pretty big. Maybe you can get like a cardboard rocket. Cardboard rockets are easy to do. But which one would you get? That's a question mark. I don't know, a mini mag?
All right. I mean, that's not a bad suggestion.
Maybe
it's a little draggy and large, but I mean,
yeah, maybe not mini mag. Question marks. I don't know. Lock something.
All right, we'll move on. Shane, how about you?
I feel like no matter what they look up, what they're going to wind up finding is the Apogee Zephyr.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Apogee's SEO person absolutely has it dialed. As a person in the same field, I mean, you could type something completely unrelated to, like, you can look up a different brand of rockets and the Apogee website comes up before the actual website that manufactures them because they sell everything. Yeah, their SEO person got it absolutely dialed, and that is why we see so many of those Apogee Zephyrs.
And like there's like, it's very beginner friendly, like the website, and I'm sure the kits are too. I haven't seen one, but I assume it's really like user friendly.
If you type in level 1 rocket kit, the first thing that comes up is Apogee's website, and they have a whole web page of kits specifically that they're like, these are great for level 1s. Actually, the Zephyr is not very high on this. It's the bottom of page 1. Maybe it's just I think it is the cheapest of page 1 though. But yeah. Oh nope, it's not the cheapest. Well, there you go. What can you do? Sorry, go on. Oh, Matt? Yes.
I was just thinking, there's a new Estes rocket out there, right? That's level 1 doable.
Yeah, the Vogel. There's
Vogel.
I mean, a few Pro Series 2 rockets that are perfectly capable of doing level 1 bone stock or with light modifications. So, Taylor, what are you recommending someone does?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to not say the Lock 4.
Yeah, it's such a good starting point, and like, I'm like, if people want to go straight into fiberglass and they're reading about cardboard versus fiberglass and this and that, I don't have any problem with people just doing what they want to do, but using a 4-inch cardboard rocket is really nice because it's fairly draggy, and like, if it's your first time, you're probably not going to take time to bevel the fins unless you're really about it. So like, it's light enough too that you can fly it on fairly small motors for a rocket its size, but it's also beefy enough that you can put J motor in there if you really wanted to be about it like that.
For if there's someone that's like never seen a rocket before, I think I would recommend a Aerotech Sumo. Because it's just so user friendly.
Yeah, I mean, it's all CA, but I think the way that the instructions teach you to build an Aerotech rocket kind of sets a bad precedent for high power builds.
You're gonna have an awakening when you get a not Aerotech rocket, but you're at least gonna have that, like, it's gonna quickly give you the tools to be like, this is how a rocket is built.
Yeah. And then when you get a rocket and you're like, how come the fins don't snap into the weird little ring things? You're going to have a tough time. But I mean, my dad's level 1 rocket was an Aerotech strong arm that he built. It had the baffle system, but he didn't put the hook in it. And he put the motor block in for some reason. So when he wanted to put an H motor in it, we had to put a motor case in there and hit it with a rubber mallet till it blew out the motor block. But it was all built with CA, so it was just fine. And he flew a Causin H155 fast, I believe, for his level 1. And he flew it a bunch of times on those motors, actually.
And the modern Aerotech kits come with an actual like screw-on motor retainer and and rail buttons, I think, or maybe they give you both. But I don't know.
Well, I think they're
nice. Modern.
I got one that had 3D printed rail guides, but instead of launch lugs, because I mean, a lot of clubs don't even pull out a 1/4-inch rod anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, they're good and they're pretty beefy. They have a 29 millimeter mount, so there's not a lot of room for forward progression there. I think one that I really recommend is the 4-inch Lock Patriot because it's a really good size. The Patriot is like just an instantly recognizable thing. Mm-hmm. So it's like a cool rocket that people are probably already familiar with. And I made a video on how to build it. So that's an easy one. I built that thing in like an hour and 20 minutes using all 5-minute epoxy. And then I gave it away at a launch in Oregon to a little kid. And then shout out to Rob Appleton of Team Num. He gave the kid's dad, who had just done his level 2, a DMS J motor of some flavor. He's like, here you go. Here's that for your free rocket. And I was like, oh, Rob, I built that with 5-minute epoxy. I don't know if it's... And the guy's like, I guess we'll see. And it took it. I mean, I was doing fillets on that rocket while things were still not dry. So admittedly, when all the weight of the rocket was on one of the sets of fins that hadn't dried yet, it made one of the fins a little crooked. But I was like, okay, whatever. 1 day popsicle stick and 5-minute hobby shop epoxy build, and it took a J motor. So that's just such a good all around. And the fins aren't prone to hitting the ground on landing. It's just a nice rocket that's safe and easy, and it's like plenty stout. So really, you could do your level 2 with it if you wanted to as well. But you could just fly it on pretty much anything. It weighs like nothing. You could fly it on an H550 if you wanted. Probably an H123 if it's really... I mean, wait for no wind, but it could probably do it. All right, good.
Postart?
I went already.
Oh, what did you say?
Apogee Zephyr.
Oh, that's right. He went first.
Well, Braden, when you were saying
Matt went first.
Yeah. Well, I don't really count. Okay, thanks, Taylor. You're so sweet. When you were talking about the Patriot, that like. When I was sitting there scrambling, trying to think about rockets, my mind went to Patriot at some point, but I was like, well, maybe not. But anyway.
Dude, I want to see someone do all Lock Patriot certs. 4-inch for level 1, 5.5 level 2, and 7.5 level 3.
Can that be said yet?
What? The 7.5-inch Patriot that's been in production for 30 years?
Never mind, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, you are thinking of something else.
Could you
something else that's in our house right now, but we can't tell you about that yet.
Honestly, the 3 or 4 inch Iris wouldn't be a bad option.
Yeah, now we're talking. Even though
I don't like IRI, but it is admittedly a good option.
It is really good because then it's got a 54 and those fins are so draggy that you can easily fly it on bigger motors. Yeah, obviously I'm a big advocate for the IRI, but the Patriot's really cheap. So is the Lock 4. I mean, really any Lock 4-inch rocket is a really safe bet. You can go down to 3 even. They're pretty beefy. There's people that have done level 1 and 2 with like 2-inch Lock rockets with some fiberglass. But I mean, another great option is the Wildman Journey 75, which I also did an instructional video for. This is a rocket that Tim basically specifically designed for people to get their level 1s with. I built that whole rocket with 5-minute epoxy as well. And you can get it for pretty cheap with a plastic nose cone. And with the plastic nose cone, and like a 2-grain 38 max, it's under class 1 weight, which is pretty crazy for a 3-inch fiberglass rocket. All right, riveting.
That's really cool. Thanks, Braden.
Yeah, no problem. So a decent alternate I wanted to throw up was getting oh my god. Not a word when I talk about the rocket, but I say throw up and these baby men can't handle anything.
You said throw up. You're funny. Anyway.
Obviously I have my affiliate code. That's ZWW10 for 10% off your order, by the way. But something like the S's doorknob or any of the bigger Pro Series 2 kits and then buying the plywood upgrade or going to like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Craft Store and getting 1/8-inch plywood and just cloning the fins yourself, you run the balls to centering rings. It doesn't really matter. But if you do plywood fins on an Estes Pro Series 2 kit, they already don't have motor blocks. They already have, don't use the fold it and tape it shock cord solution. Put it on the top centering ring or mount your shock cord better. But these are honestly great rocket choices for level 1s. The Vogel, like Matt talked about earlier, is a 2-stage rocket. The Sustainer, it's actually the first rocket that Estes has ever sold as level 1 capable. It says it in the box. So there's a lot of options there. Basically any of them with plywood fins is going to be fine. Or if you want to get crazy with composites and you want to learn to do fiberglass and stuff, fiberglass them. Dude, glass balsa is crazy light. So you can do some crazy S with that. All right. Any other alternates?
I was just going to say, you wouldn't even need heavy glass. You could get whatever they sell, lightweight 1 ounce or whatever from the hobby store.
Yeah. Or my classic go-to is the Bondo glass. It is like 6 ounce, so it's pretty heavy, but they just have it at Home Depot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, any 2-inch or 2-inch through 4-inch like high power brand kit is basically gonna one way or another get the job done. It's just kind of what flavor you want.
Yeah, there's all kinds of options. Yeah, Mad Cow, Dragon Rocketry. Is Mach 1 still actually a thing? They're fiberglass, but
I'm not sure. Another thing to consider, I guess, is like what your local launch site is like. So once you go find your club, see what the launch site is like and think about how high that rocket's going to go.
Yeah, because I mean, the 4-inch Patriot on a J went like 6,500 feet, and main at Apogee is 6,500 feet is a good recipe for quite a long walk. So, I mean, there's things like the Jolly Logic shoot release, and people there's so many resources for high power rocketry now that people will just find stuff to start reading about it, and they're coming to launches with dual deploy level 1 rockets. So, pick your poison. You go in as deep as you want to. I'm not one of those people that's keep it simple, get your cert out of the way, then go crazy. It's really, what does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't really.
You have to try your cert again, especially if it's level 1. It literally means nothing. There's no test. How many times can you try your level 2 flight after you do your level 2 test? Is there a limit on that, or can you just keep going?
I don't know.
I think there's just a time period. I don't know what that time period is, but I think
it's 6 months or something like that. I don't know. We should probably know that, but we don't.
Probably.
It's been so long since you guys have been level 1.
Yeah, true that. Unlike some people.
All right.
Well, I guess you were level 2 before Postart, but that was just because he was 17. So
yeah, that's right. Postart, take that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, have you flown an O, Matt?
Yeah.
Have you?
No. Are you level 3?
Someday.
That's what we thought. Anyway, okay. Pick your rocket. Base, how high you want to go, how crazy you want to get. That's all up to you. But then decisions have to be made. you can go with reloadable motors or you can go with DMS motors. And I'm curious to see what everyone's thoughts are on that. So fire away, somebody.
DMS is easier and cheaper? Question mark.
No, definitely
cheaper.
not cheaper, but at this point, pretty much the same price as buying a reload. It is like a fairly negligible amount at this point because it used to be crazy expensive in comparison, but now it's like all kind of caught up. So let's see, because the composite single-use cases were what like made things really expensive. Like an H550, for example, is a good one because that motor literally exists in both. The DMS H550 is $56.69, and then the not DMS one. Hold on, give me a second.
But what about? But with the DMS, you don't need a case, right?
Right, Matt.
Okay. Well, wouldn't it be cheaper considering the case cost too?
No.
Well, not. I mean, the motors usually cost more, and if you're going to be flying a lot, then it used to break even after like 3 or 4 flights. However, the reloadable H550 is 90 cents less than a DMS one now. So
wow.
As much as I would be like, look, just get the 38 360 720 starter set with the RAS, and then you can fly anything H through J. At this point, I think my recommendation is for people to get into it with DMS, because if you're not going to be flying a lot, then having the hardware, the only advantage of having the hardware is that there's a lot more motor options. So if you're like just getting your feet wet.
Yeah. If you're not going to be flying a lot, then why are you doing it?
Well,
why are you doing it?
Well,
Matthew?
No, I'm doing it more than...
Yeah, Matt.
No, it's math, by the way. And also... Not just kidding.
That is technically more correct for short for Matthew, I guess.
I'm going to call you you.
Yeah, or I was
you.
thinking... It could be math... It could be math who. You know, that's not... Anyway. Yeah, I think I think the reloadable is the way to go. I feel like that's more fun, in my opinion.
Taylor's a proud rocket dad right now.
That's your opinion, though. I mean, I also think reloads are more fun, but I would recommend a single use DMS to get started these days, because like long time ago, single-use motors were plentiful, and like in the 90s, but they were more expensive than the reloads, and then they became so expensive that they weren't really being made for quite a while. And then I don't know, when did DMS come out? Around 2010, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
And so then they figured out a way to make them more affordable. They were still a lot more than a reload, so there was still that argument like, oh, we'll just get the case, you'll be ready to go. But I think like if you're just getting your level 1, it's so easy, and like the cost isn't really different now. So just fly the single use motor and do that a few times, and then if you're like sucked all the way in, then you can get reloads and go down that. But if you're there's some people that fly mostly low power, and then they're just going to fly some level 1 stuff every once in a while, and it makes more sense to just fly DMS stuff instead of buying reload cases.
If you're really concerned about if the rocket's going to survive, doing the DMS would make a lot of sense. It's just, it removes a lot of variables of what could go wrong.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to be confident in that, Matt.
I'm just saying. I'm just just saying. That's all.
I mean, the consequences do suck less if you ruin it, but 2013, by the way, Taylor, is when TMS came out.
Wow.
It still feels, I'm like, it's such a new thing that people are getting all excited about. It's not that new, unfortunately. We're just old.
Yeah.
Old. Yeah, I mean, it's so much easier to just be like, yeah, here. Of course, a big issue is that availability is kind of a situation right now. I don't know when you're listening to this podcast episode, but what we're talking about with reloadable versus DMS. DMS is disposable motor system. RMS is reloadable motor system. Both products of Aerotech. There is also Cesaroni, which is at this point of recording extremely hard to get a hold of and problematic in a lot of sizes, primarily the 54 stuff, but supposedly they're like back in full swing production of their hobby stuff. So maybe by the time you're listening to this, you've got a vendor that's got a ton of CTI stuff. There's no single use option, but the CTI 38s are pretty much single use. I mean, it comes with the rear closure fully installed and everything. You just thread it into the case and then go. Everything's all pre-greased, the O-ring and everything's just drill the delay and put it in the case and go.
Yeah, in some ways it's almost easier than the DMS because you don't have to put the ejection charge in.
Yeah, so I mean, check if you have an on-site vendor and see what they've got. There's also Loki as an option if you want to look into the snap ring motors. If your vendor has Loki stuff, that's a cool option. Or you can order any of them. A lot of 38 and smaller 29 and 38 millimeter motors are hazmat free, which is cool because hazmat shipping makes everything way expensive, way fast. But yeah, so I mean, really, again, it's just one of those things. It's like circumstantial, what you want to do, and what you feel like doing, but how high and fast you want to go, and all that, and what's available, and
But regardless of your motor choice, remember that you need pretty much all of the high power motors these days come with a long ejection delay that needs to be trimmed in most cases. So talk to your motor vendor about what you need to do that, because a lot of people overlook that on their I see on level 1 flights, and they just put the motor in and it's got a 14-second delay or whatever, and it's just coming straight down real fast, and then the rocket zippers or worse sometimes. But
which brings us to our next point of discussion. There is zero reason in this modern world of rocketry for somebody getting into the hobby to not be simulating their flights. There's Open Rocket. Taylor and I are big rock sim users, but it's just because we've been using it for a long time. Open Rocket, basically a free version of rock sim. It's a completely free rocket simulator, and you can import rock sim files, and virtually any kit you can buy right now has already been modeled in rock sim. And a slight suggestion, if you have a rocket that doesn't have a rock sim file, I would suggest skipping the part where you go to Facebook or the Rocketry forum and ask somebody else to do it for you and learn to make your own RockSim files, because it is a really good skill to have. Simulation files. I made a video on how to do it with my minimum diameter N1000 rocket, which is obviously a very hardcore rocket that went Mach 2 and almost 50,000 feet. But across the board, it is applicable at the very basic level. Same concept. You just measure and weigh stuff and then put it in the simulator and bam. But what that will do is tell you how high your rocket's going to go roughly. You can set wind settings and everything and see how the wind's going to affect it taking off. It's going to show you whether the thrust to weight of your rocket is safe, because if you build a big heavy rocket and then you try and put an H97 in it, it might not go great for you. And finally, it will show you the optimum delay in both cases. RockSim and Open Rocket show you what your optimal motor delay is. Like Taylor said, you should drill it to that so your parachute doesn't come out on the way down.
And I will say the sim programs are usually a bit optimistic on the recommended delay. It's kind of more in a perfect world, so I would err on the shorter side, especially if it falls in between. Say your delay tool allows you to have a 6 or an 8 or 8 or 10, and it's in between that. I would go with the shorter side, especially if there's any wind.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, Nothing's foolproof, obviously, but going in completely blind versus going in having simulated your rocket and having a general idea of how high it's going to go and how long you need to set your delay and everything is really nice. Some people go really hard and bring their laptop with them, especially if there's a vendor on site and they're going to buy a motor, then they'll run sims and check everything. Generally, motors similar in total impulse are going to have similar altitudes and similar delay requirements, unless there's like a huge discrepancy in the motor burn time, like an H550 versus an H123 or whatever. Obviously going to have different amounts of coast time, but we'll still get similar altitudes. I guess an H123 is a decent bit lower in impulse than an H550, but well, probably not, right? They're probably pretty close.
No, it's a decent amount. Probably about 100 Newton seconds.
There's no way.
An
You asking
H550,
me?
H550 is a full H, and an H123 is only like 200 and
Oh, yeah,
20
you're right.
Newton seconds.
97. Well,
yeah.
where was that last week during Jeopardy when you needed to know total impulse?
Honestly.
Man, I even know
Well,
what a K550 was.
yeah,
I mean,
well, it's
K1100.
Yeah, because he didn't put any numbers on the graphs.
I knew what it was.
Yeah,
Taylor.
Matt knew.
Matt got it.
BS.
Matt got the K1100.
Yes, so
I got
lucky.
that. No, I got it.
He nailed it just immediately. This man knew.
Take that, Taylor.
We got to do the Rocket Jeopardy, and I guess if you want to play it on baby mode, we can have some other numbers. Yeah,
If you
simulate your rockets.
take away the impulse and put thrust numbers on there, and I can do it.
All right, well, we know what we're going to do
Sure.
for a segment of an episode. We're going to give Taylor his graphs and be like, okay, put your money where your mouth is. Everyone you get wrong, you owe the AGG fund $100.
Yeah,
There's
that's
gonna
awesome.
be 10 of
Perfect.
them.
Cool.
Okay.
Fun.
Anything else before we go to the Discord people's inputs for getting people into Rocketry?
I think we ran into the ground sufficiently.
Awesome. And yes, I mean, most of the people listening to this podcast are already flying rockets, so
Mm-hmm.
this episode might have some low turnover. But listen,
Yeah.
Shane and I are getting ready to move. We got a million other things going on. We pulled this one out of the hat, rabbit style. Thank you.
Weird.
Chase says, there's this motor called the N5800. It's really hard to find because it's such a great beginner motor and everyone is trying to buy one. The student teams fly them all the time. This is
Good point.
sound advice. They're only $1,800, I think. The motor case is only about $900, so pretty reasonable point of entry. And if you're listening genuinely, just know that is a motor that is notorious for destroying rockets without any semblance of guilt for it. Dude, not even just minimum diameter rockets. Those things, there was like ripping fins off of 6-inch rockets that weren't built very well.
Not even like, I wouldn't even say not built very well, just like fins that are slightly too big, like 3/16 G10 fins.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I think Ryan Toso, it was an 05500, not an N5800, but in a similar vein, he had an 8-inch Wildman Darkstar and ripped the fins off of that.
Just
because,
nuts.
yeah, that motor's gnarly, but anyway, Dougie Dallas says, get a 2.6-inch Punisher kit or the Zyla kit. That will be the only airframe you need to fly for a while. Watch Rocket Vlog's old build videos for lots of how-tos. Thank you for the shout-out. And of course, yes, the 2.6-inch Punisher was my collaborative effort with Wildman Rocketry, so I'm obviously going to back people buying those. However, I mean, I guess it's not a bad first rocket if you're going to go straight into fiberglass, but you're going to fly it high pretty much once you go beyond like an H motor. It weighs nothing. The point of that size was that you can be like super aggressive with it. I'm excited. Do you think anyone's going to shred one during the contest at Airfest?
I mean, I think something will happen. I don't know if it'll be a classic shred, but
Yeah.
something like what you did with yours.
Oh.
Wow. Something really dumb.
Wow.
Anyway.
Rafe says, do what all the cool kids do. Get an Apogee Zephyr. Hey, Shane's on board with you there.
Yeah.
Or a 3-inch Wildman kit, to which Dougie Doll has said, Journey 75 will last longer. I mean, yeah, there is, in theory, a fiberglass rocket will last longer, but fiberglass rockets are heavy, dude. It doesn't really matter what size they are, and I think there's, this stigma, which is crazy now, having been part of the era where fiberglass rockets were prohibitively expensive, and it was Wildman kind of shifted the gear there, but when it was just Hawk Mountain and I guess Dynacom wasn't really around in our era. It's just kind of remnants into the 2000s. Really, it was just Hawk Mountain for us, I guess, and Giant Leap had fiberglass stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, there would have been overlap with Hawk Mountain and Dynacom. That would have been because the original Wildman came out in what, 2004,
I think.
Well, Wildman started in 2004, but I don't know if he had the kit until 2005.
I'm fact checking, but do you remember the 3-inch regular Wildman used to be really expensive because
it was Hawk Mountain, yeah,
and it was still at one point while Curtis was manufacturing the other Wildman kits, the original Wildman was still Hawk Mountain glass. So I'm looking at 2005, February 2005. The dual deploy 3-inch Wildman was $277. That's pretty substantial. And then let's run the CPI inflation calculator here, because that's a lot of money. Even by today's standards, $277.
Single deploy?
No, it's the dual deploy one.
Oh.
But that's $468 in current money is what 277 equates to. And for reference, the 3-inch Wildman dual deploy now is $311. So fiberglass was really expensive. And now there's this stigma among, I say mostly people who are fairly new to rocketry, that are why would you build cardboard, dude? That stuff's fragile, Or someone who will remain nameless doesn't like cardboard because they blew a hole in the side of it during an ejection test. Just putting that out there, that I know somebody who did that and doesn't like cardboard rockets now because of it. I've flown a lot of cardboard rockets in my time, and I haven't really had any issues. That's all I'm saying. And you can do a big, dumb, fun stuff. You can build a huge rocket that still technically qualifies as class 1. And it's just a classic vibe, It's just like building a big, giant Estes rocket. It's so fun to have the goofy, huge plastic nose cone. Good time. So, fiberglass is great, yes, but don't rule out cool cardboard rockets. They're still cool. They're still cool, man.
Wow. You can get Bluetooth stuff. Okay.
Yeah, Bluetooth. That's an option. Always Ready Rocketry. Dude, the basic blues, is that thing still $99? That's kind of a crazy deal if it is at this point. I shouldn't have said that because it's probably not now. Let's see. Products. Bluetooth kits, the basic blues series. Yeah, $95 for the 3-inch one with a 54 mount. Or the 4-inch one's only $104.25. Wow, that's actually a crazy good deal. Now, these are single deploy, and it's a plastic nose cone, but Bluetooth is this, what is it called? I used to have it committed to memory, the name of the fiber.
Isn't it vulcanized?
Yeah, vulcanized fiber. Blue tube is rocket airframe material born from the most unusual source, tank ammunition, in all caps is what it says on the website. But yeah, it's good stuff. And I remember somebody was arguing against it one time. They're like, yeah, if you get it wet, it's done. I was like, well, yeah, that's true of anything that isn't fiberglass. But c'est la vie. Okay, let's see.
La vie.
Thank you, Matthew. Sorry, math. If I had to recommend level 1 rockets, says Rafe, 2.6 or 3-inch Wildman kits or 4-inch lock kits. Okay, I mean, we're pretty... And the Apogee effort just depends on your budget. Chase says, in all serious, I think mid-power is a prerequisite for high power. Fly some F&G motors if they haven't. Get a simple kit like a lock kit or something. Basically, all of the lock kits with a 29mm motor mount will handle an H. Larger diameter is better. Whenever people ask me about helping them get level 1, I send them to the lock 3-inch kits. Buy a 29mm DMS H at the launch. Support your vendors. So many different colors and effects. Take your pick. There is actually quite a few 29mm DMS motors, but we were going to talk about this. I waited to bring it up. I disagree that you have to fly mid-power before you fly high power. I disagree that you even have to fly low power before you have to fly high power, but just as a consequence of science classes in junior high and elementary, a lot of people just have flown low power rockets before. And I don't know, what's really boil it down, what's the difference between flying H180 and a G64 at the end of the day? A G80 versus an H242. Yeah, I guess that's a bad
Mostly
example,
nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
H220. What's the 29180 Blue Thunder?
H238.
Yeah, I mean, a G80 is a 99.8% G motor. Like,
maybe like an 80% G.
I had flown L's and M's. I still don't know if I've ever flown an F. I really don't think.
That's crazy.
I cannot remember a time when I flew an F motor. Because I went straight from the E9s to being like, I want big things. So I did G80s, G64s, G53s. Yeah.
I grew up in the era
H97.
when a Kano jet was really a Kano. So we were blowing through those. F20s, F23s for like $17 for a 2-pack.
Yeah. Never did it. But yeah, like you said, one thing that's really only stands out is that the instructions from Locke for building their rockets are kind of catered towards somebody who's built rockets before. But like an Estes one, which is why that was my recommendation, is you buy an Estes rocket and do plywood fins instead of balsas. The instructions are so in depth that it's pretty foolproof. But even if you're getting into rocketry and you don't know what to do about building a rocket, like if you showed Sam my video of building my T-Lock and you weren't in the room, she would build it fine.
Yeah, for sure.
There's unlimited resources at this point. I highly recommend youtube.com/@rocketvlogs if I do suggest something. And I actually am planning on doing a bunch of like basic how-to videos. Basics with Babish, I think I'll call it. I just came up with that on my own.
Maybe not that.
What about binging with Babish?
Maybe binging with
rockets.
Braden.
Yeah, who is Babish? Really easy rocket stuff with Rocket.
I like that. Yeah, that sounds good. Do a jingle with it.
Rockets with
Rocket. Yeah, just like a rocketry basic series, like talking about fillets and what you need to do as far as fillet strength based on how intense your rocket's going to go, just like ranging from popsicle stick 5-minute epoxy to degassing high temp stuff for high performance things and all of that. Fiberglassing stuff. I mean, I've done several different videos on fiberglassing airframes, but basically I just have so much footage already that I could just make a bunch of videos where people who are looking to get into it can sort of just have like a quick start and go. And then maybe someday I will have a mansion in Malibu because of YouTube rocketry. I don't think so, but if you want to contribute to the cause, it's patreon.com/rocketvlogs. We'll get to the mansion. Just know that if I get a mansion from YouTube and Patreon money, I'm inviting you all over for pulled pork and brisket. Okay? so really, it's, we got to get a lot of people in there. It's $1 on Patreon, but like if we get 50 million people, boom, easy. Let's see. Building with power rockets before met my level 1 was actually half decent. Yeah, I mean, but you can build a half decent rocket if you just put some time and thought into it. Let's see what else. This is the problem with using Discord as a reference, because the converse, like, people reply to each other and it just gets buried. Emma H says, I love the 2.6-inch Punisher, but I think that it's a lot for a first high power rocket. Yeah, I kind of agree. I like the big dumb rocket approach with Lock 4 or Journey 75. Joining the local club is a must if they have access to a high power field. Yep. Brian Clark says, I do a Rockets 101 class for a local university. Broken overviews of how do rockets work, rocket anatomy, motor anatomy, things to know about construction, things to know about certs, and a brief explanation of open rocket. Then we build a low power kit. Then in follow-up sessions, we build a lock kit they can use for their level 1 and an actual open rocket tutorial. Dang, this guy's got it dialed.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's awesome.
I've thought about doing something like that before, like at a college or something, just like having or even like Hobby Lobby has like those craft classes where 70-year-old women teach you how to weave baskets. Imagine just showing up with like 35 Journey 75s and having people walk out of there with high power rockets.
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, dude. It'd be crazy.
Pick up a wreath on your way out.
Yeah, or a new cabinet or something.
Yeah,
nice dresser.
A live, laugh, love sign.
Dude, we need to make. Have you? Oh, Matt's never been to our house. The one Shane made one for our kitchen that says "Live, Laugh, Lunch."
Nice.
I thought you would like that.
I love that.
We have some inside like removable wall vinyl, so we were playing with that. Rafe says, personally, I would recommend a 4-inch cardboard rocket for level 1 because they go low, slow, and stay in sight. Yeah, really, that is the ultimate thing. Is you start flying too high, you start running into that. You need to figure out how you're going to track that down type situation, and it can be a problem. So there you go, folks. The basics to getting into high power rockets are very basic, to put it simply. Let's recap so that I can make this a short. If you want to get into high power rocketry, step 1, find your nearest local club at either nar.org or tripoli.org. Go to a launch, go talk to some people. Step 2, pick which rocket you're going to use. Pretty much any 3 or 4-inch cardboard rocket makes it fairly affordable and attainable to get into. Our favorite brands, Lock Precision, Mad Cow Rocketry, Wildman Rocketry, but Wildman is mostly going to be fiberglass stuff. But Wildman also sells lock stuff, so. And of course, EstusRockets.com. Some of the Pro Series 2 rockets, though they may need to be modified a little bit, can be used for level 1, or the Vogel can just be used for level 1. Learn to use open rocket, simulate your rocket, make sure your motor eject is correct, and have your motor vendor help you pick what motor is right for you, decide how high you want to go, and boom. Welcome to the world of high power rocketry. Do we have anything else?
Would it make sense at all to like explain what's required for level 1?
I mean, there really isn't anything required.
I get,
for level 1.
You know, it's just be a member and fly
the rocket.
H impulse.
Yeah,
build a
right.
rocket that doesn't scare anyone at your club.
Yeah,
that's true. Very good
Or
points.
in some cases, build one that scares them and let them try anyway.
yeah.
All right. Well, Taylor's already distracted and we haven't even got to the live stream yet.
It just occurred to me, I don't have one, so I don't know. The Estes Pro Series Nike Smoke is that big? Can you use that on an H motor?
Yeah, dude. People do it all the time.
I think I would choose that because I know the instructions are good and Nike Smokes are sick.
Yeah, just make sure the fins are glued together really good.
Yeah.
But if you just did like the White Lightning, or H135, I think, the White Lightning one. That's probably what I would do.
Dude, I have an H195 for mine, remember? But the stupid DMS sticker got stuck in my motor tube, and now I have to rebuild half of my Nike Smoke, so I didn't fly it. I hate the sticker, dude. They stopped putting the sticker on the metal motor cases because they were a problem. So what do they do when they start making the fiberglass ones? Boom, put a sticker on it. Like, yeah, I get you can't engrave it, but just like, if somebody pulls it out of the motor tube and then forgets which one is which, that is their problem.
Bring back the silk screen.
Yeah,
the 90s.
Red. I'm over it, dude. Quit putting the stupid stickers on those motors. It sucks. They never fit in motor tubes right. It's annoying. And then you got to scrape it off with alcohol and a razor blade for 3 hours. And now the thrust rings
and
are
rubbing
like, wow.
alcohol too.
Yeah. You have to use the alcohol that fixes injuries on the outside to get it off, and the alcohol that fixes injuries on the inside to cope with having to do it.
To keep you calm.
Yeah, stop putting the stickers on there, please, Aerotech. If somebody pulls it out of the yellow tube and forgets where it went, and they happen to have like 554s, and they can't tell what a difference is between an L1000, a K5, or 455, that's their problem, okay? Make them deal with it.
Make them learn to smell the difference.
Yeah. Shine a light down the nozzle. You'll know real quick which one's which. One looks like White Lightning and the other one doesn't. Boom. It's that easy. No more stickers. Thank you. With peace and love, there will be no more stickers after October the 6th. Do you remember that? When Ringo Starr said he was going to start throwing away people's fan letters?
No.
About it. He's like, with peace and love. And he told everybody that he was throwing away their stuff after a certain date. Oh, awesome. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. My name is Braden Carlson. You can find me right here on YouTube at Rocket Vlogs, or you can find me on Instagram now at Rocket Vlogs Official, where this is the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Right before the podcast, I found that John Mayer is following my Rocketry Instagram. Actually, John Mayer, I checked like 12, 15 times. It is actually his account.
Wow. Awesome. Welcome,
I don't know
John
why,
Mayer.
but one of them got like 1.3 million views, and I got more followers than I've gotten on my personal account in the past 13 years in about an hour and a half. And now this one's over 5,000. One of them's John Mayer. I got no explanation for that. But if John Mayer is subscribed and good enough for Rocket Vlogs Official on Instagram and you're not, really take that into consideration. Okay? Maybe go follow it.
My name is Taylor, and you can find me on YouTube at The Rocket Channel, and there is a new video, the once every 6 month video of me spending all winter figuring out how to mold a big mosquito nose.
Wow. Nice job.
My name is Shane, or Postart. You can find me on YouTube at Postart Propulsions and online at hprtools.com. But I'm probably going to be setting the store to vacation mode here in a couple days because we are moving and I don't want to have to deal with orders in the process of that.
And I'm Matthew, and you can find me right here on Rocket. On the Anti-Gravity Group podcast.
Yeah, there it is.
Rocket Vlogs, the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, brought to you by Rocket.
Hey, that's me. Okay, well, I guess that's all we've got. That's all I have to say about that. We are the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and this is the Anti-Gravity Group. Thank you. We will see you all next time.
We might just hear from Nigel the Rocket Cat. Load up the professional masterpiece, you can bet on that. A launch and a chat with them is guaranteed to be a blast. It's the Anti-Gravity Group podcast. Ooh.